anti-government, anti-bank. And I always felt like if we're going to rewire how financial infrastructure works, it's not going to be through a parallel system. It's going to be by improving the existing system.
Conversation in Washington around debanking. Trump spurred a wave of conversation early in his latest term when he claimed in front of the World Economic Forum that banks locked many people, particularly conservatives, out of the financial system. But there was another group that has long argued that it's been shut out of the U.S. financial system.
One is the technical dimension, so how we manage to get a system that speaks in a certain cryptographic language to speak with another that speaks another slightly different language. So that is one level of complexity. We need to get the technologies to speak to each other. The messaging element is fundamental.
With the smaller, innovative companies. Ripple, way back in 2016, partnered with SBI, one of the largest and most successful banking conglomerates here and really across a lot of financial services here in Japan. And that's been a really successful partnership for us and for them.
They try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I'll be getting plenty. They want all your bags and they want all them empty.
What's up, good glitches? If you got a baggie, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock News. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra bullishness. Here we got the market cap dominance here. Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, SOL, BNB. In the previous 2016 halving cycle, right around the end of 2017, the beginning of 2018, we had XRP reach right around 20% here. BTC was around 42%, ETH right around 15%. That was the highest XRP has ever reached, right around 20.5%. In the 2020 halving cycle, XRP was only able to reach around 4.7, 4.6%. And then the SEC lawsuit pretty much shut down that cycle. That was the highest it reached for that cycle. As you see here, when the rest of the markets topped off, XRP was only around 2.5% dominance. In our current cycle, I believe the highest XRP has reached is right here, right around 4.9%. So another 4x if we match that 2017, 2018 peak where XRP reached almost 20.5%. Let me know what you guys think down below. How high can XRP's dominance reach? Can we hit around another 20%, maybe 40% dominance for XRP? Shout out to the latest sub. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in. Go ahead, smash them likeys on the way in, and go ahead, throw on those moon suits, throw on those pilot shades, and buckle up, because the future's extra bullish. Let's go full speed, full throttle into the cryptoverse. We got the total global cryptocurrency market cap today right around 3.24 trillion. Another red day, down around 3.7% in the past 24. We got XRP right around $2.38, down around 1.3% in the past hour, down 10% in the past 7 days. We got BTC right around 95K, ETH right around 2,589. We got Stellar XLM in the number 17 spot, right around 31.5 cents. Take a look at the altcoin season index here, still bouncing in between alt season and BTC season. Be on the lookout for an alt season peak of around 98, 99 to 100 like we did in the previous cycles for the altcoin season index. We got one from Monica Long to pop things off. She says, very excited to add another country, Portugal, to the Ripple payment network, and to grow the vital Brazil, Portugal, Portugal with Unicambio joining the existing customers, including Travelex Bank and Mercado Bitcoin. Eleanor Tarrant, as per this very helpful table from @JSEAYFF and Eric, we could see the SEC Gov acknowledge Grayscale's XRP spot ETF filing as early as Thursday. If indeed it chooses to acknowledge it, the SEC usually has around 15 days to acknowledge a 19B for filing, and Grayscale filed their conversion application on January 30th. Either way, should give us a good idea of how the current SEC Gov Commission is thinking about XRP. We got James @JSEYFF. He says, Eric and I took a look at the filings for the spot crypto ETFs. We're putting out relatively high odds for approval across the board, mainly focused on Litecoin, SOL, XRP, Dogecoin for now. Here's the table with the odds and some other details. You got XRP, Grayscale, Bitwise, Canary, 21 shares, Wisdom Tree. First 19B4 file date 1/30/2025. 19B4 acknowledged, no, not yet. Acknowledged date 2/13/25. Final SEC deadline 10/17/2025. Odds of approval in 2025 65%. XRP drops the final chapter. The war on the banks is about to end. Crypto custody Choke point 2.0 will be history.
The conversation in Washington around debanking. Trump spurred a wave of conversation early in his latest term when he claimed in front of the World Economic Forum that banks locked many people, particularly conservatives, out of the financial system. But there was another group that has long argued that it's been shut out of the U.S. financial system, crypto businesses. And quickly, that conversation found its way to Capitol Hill with hearings in both the House and Senate tackling the issue.
The past 4 years, and particularly the debanking that has gone on, has been just in a whole host of ways negative for the crypto industry. Whether that's more of the business moving offshore, whether that's loss of trust in the American financial system, whether it's just the heartbreak of many entrepreneurs who were not able to build their businesses.
Now, the crux of the industry's complaints center around the idea of choke point 2.0, the claim that the Biden White House used its administration and regulators to target crypto businesses and push them out of the financial system. The 2.0 comes from a similar tactic that the Obama administration allegedly used to go after banks that backed gun manufacturers, payday lenders, and more. Now, the industry believes that with Trump in office, the barriers that it sees to using U.S. banks may start to fall. The FDIC released hundreds of documents detailing its communications with banks and businesses that deal in crypto in the hopes of being more transparent in its dealings with digital assets.
Coinbase is for its part, attempted to shine a big bright light on this, particularly as it has taken place at the FDIC and its oversight of banks. We've exposed, for example, that pause letters were sent by the FDIC to bank after bank after bank all across this country that wanted to do nothing more than offer crypto-related services as part of their portfolio of products and services.
And SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce promised a new open-door policy for people to discuss crypto as the agency begins to unravel its harsh stance on digital assets, including rolling back a rule that paves the way for big Wall Street banks to hold Bitcoin on their balance sheet.
Banks, institutions on their way to pump our bags up. Pump our bags up. Jack McDonald, 2025 will be the defining year for crypto adoption and policy. On March 26th, I'll be at the Digital Chamber DC Blockchain Summit in Washington, D.C., discussing stablecoin adoption, including Ripple's RLUSD. Looking forward to the important conversations ahead. Upwards, onwards. We got Nerdy X90. They keep lying because people are dumb enough to keep falling for it. Why would you stop it if it keeps working? Pride before the fall. Ignorance is baffling. But all crypto companies are cheering this because it benefits them most. Of course, they're going to repeat the same talking point.
Something that concerns me a lot is the idea that we would even look like China in any way. So can I have your commitment that as long as you're the chairman of the Federal Reserve System, that we will never have a central bank digital currency?
Yes.
Thank you for that. I think that's extremely important. It makes me very happy to hear you say that.
Got Cointelegraph, Justin, Binance, and the U.S. SEC have filed a joint motion to pause the case for 60 days, citing the new crypto task force under the SEC may have an impact on the case. We got Austin King recently. RLUSD supply nearly doubled and drove over 400 million in volume. Most don't understand the scale of Ripple's stablecoin strategy. Soon it could include a $4 trillion economy. Japan.
The bigger guys partnering with the smaller innovative companies. Ripple, way back in 2016, partnered with SBI, one of the largest and most successful banking conglomerates here and really across a lot of financial services here in Japan. And that's been a really successful partnership for us and for them. So we feel like it makes sense to when you enter some of these markets to partner with some of the bigger guys. And that's true in Korea, that's true in Japan. Depending on what market you go into, we try to figure out what's the best way to enter.
Especially here in Japan, we've talked about regulation being a bit more clear, but also the government has been very active in setting those regulations. At the same time, we're headed towards a presidential election for the ruling Liberal Democratic Party. Do you have any views on the potential that this market could change?
Well, actually, while I've been here in Japan, I've met with regulators, I've met with the FSA, I've met with elected representatives, and what I've heard consistently is a desire to lean into these technologies.
Best is still yet to come. Crawl, walk. Then we rock it. Smoke Dog, where is the need for a third-party token in cross-border transactions? Answered by the Bank of International Settlements below. XRP meets every requirement explained in the video. 1, technical interoperability. 2, sufficient liquidity, and 3, cross-jurisdiction regulatory requirements.
With all that in mind, how do we deal with this issue of exchange rates and interoperability? How do we get these digital currencies to really just talk to each other?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think when we talk about interoperability, we can see it at least in 3 different levels. So the first level is how we manage domestic interoperability. So how we generate this digital currency solution and make this speak with the other things that are out there in a little bit in the idea of generating a platform so that everyone can connect to that platform and take advantage of the huge network externalities that we can get out of there. The second level is how do we manage cross-border transactions even within the same currency, and that presents a certain level of challenges there. But when we talk about cross-currency and cross-border, then we face a completely difficult and different environment, and we can see 3 dimensions here. One is the technical dimension, so how we manage to get a system that speaks in a certain cryptographic language to speak with another that speaks another slightly different language. So that is one level of complexity. We need to get the technologies to speak to each other. The messaging element is fundamental. The second dimension, which is much more complicated to solve, so that one, the first one was the easy one, okay? And there is a lot of money that is being put in terms of trying to solve these technical issues of interoperability. Now, the second one is more complicated. It has to do with liquidity. So imagine that you have a pair of currencies for which there is not a complementary demand. You need to go and search for a third-party currency in order to make this settlement actually happen. And this really complicates things. So we need to put pieces of technology that can make more efficiency this use of liquidity so that more transactions can be settled. The third dimension, which is even more difficult than the previous one, is how do we manage to get homogeneity in terms of the policy requirements on different countries. And this becomes even more complicated when we think about, for example, AML-CFT and principles-based policies, and when we think about risk-based policies. We can code things that are very clearly stated, but when we're talking about principles-based regulation, this thing becomes really complicated, especially in an environment, as Tom said, in which 110 nations might have 110 different ways of looking at this. So we need work in these 3 dimensions: technology, liquidity, and also, and more importantly, probably in the policy side of things. Think about AML-CFT, but also think about privacy. Different countries have very different views on this, no?
Liquidity, interoperability, distributed ledger, all roads lead to the bridge in response to, with all due respect, but in the world where there are CBDCs, wholesale, tokenized deposits, retail, why is there a need for a bridge asset token? XRP. We got Trader Rocco buying XRP before the banks start using it. Is easy money.
First got intrigued by what Ripple is doing, in part because I'd already been exposed to Bitcoin. And in around 2012, 2013, I had bought Bitcoin and thought what was interesting, but I was always concerned that one of the limiting factors for Bitcoin's success was this idea of anti-government, anti-bank. And I always felt like if we're going to rewire how financial infrastructure works, it's not going to be through a parallel system. It's going to be by improving the existing system. And so when I first heard about Ripple, I was compelled in part because it felt much more smarter. And let's work with the system. Let's work with governments. Let's work with banks. I will also say, like Monica, I think we're all drawn to people and things where you want to be a part of something bigger than you. And you want to put your kind of dent in the universe, to borrow something that Steve Jobs used to say. And Ripple always felt to me, and the idea was big, the idea of rewiring how financial infrastructure worked. And, Chris Larsen is a human who has a lot of passion. And I was drawn in by that passion and the opportunity to put my own dent in the universe. And I think we've been fortunate to assemble a team, but also, again, what's so exciting to me and powerful about being here is it's more than just Ripple. It's all of the XRP community, and seeing that community thrive and grow and evolve has really been a source of a lot of gratification and excitement, no doubt.
The AI, it was never Bitcoin. BTC is just a beta test coin. Get ready for XRP to go live. Zomin Wallet, something new is on the horizon. Zomin 3.3.3 introduces the swap function, bringing together the brightest minds and top projects on the XRP ledger to offer a seamless XRP and XRP ledger token swapping experience right inside your Zomin Wallet. Mustache looks like the top for the BTC dominance is finally in. Time for the altcoins to run it back. And with that being said, Batman bag ladies, the longer they take, the The higher we keep climbing on that XRP rich list, top 10% holder, 2,500 XRP, top 1% holder, 53,604 XRP in the top 0.1% holder, 400,000 XRP. Buying XRP before the banks start using it, easy money. The longer they take, the higher we keep climbing. Where will those bags be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed? We'll catch you up here on the mothership, BYOB. Bring your own bags, be your own bank, be your own boss. And don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. We'll catch you up here at the tippy top. Later, glitches.
Later, glitches.
Maxi, NC, it could not scale. Moon fam dancing, that rocket got stealth. Shitcoin, put it on the shelf. We headed towards the wealth. BTC, Maxi, Patsy, Moon fam clapping, they could not tell. Sheep trying to sell when it didn't turn out well. Blink of an eye, red candle, it all fell. Bitcoin was a demo, you ain't get the memo. Net memos, SEC settle, we blasting off the ghetto. Big bags on me, middle finger to the devils. Rocket fly itself, no keys, no pedals to the top, I need a medal. Stay holy in my temple.